નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Welcome students to third part of 14th chapter water of 6th science. In the last part, once again we discussed about the consumption of water by a person, by a family, by a town like that. And in the last, from Paheli, we come to know that about 2 glasses of water are required to produce each page of a book. So that we can assume that all the industries requires too much of water. Okay. Then after we discuss that where do we get water from, in which I give you a small idea. Now let us discuss that point once again, that where do we get water from. Where do you get the water that you use? Open page number 137 in your textbook. Let's start. Where do you get the water that you use? Some of you may say we draw water from a river. Okay, that is also right. Spring, pond, well or hand pump. Some others might say we get water from taps available at our home, from where that municipal corporation supplies the water, that is tap water, from tap. Have you ever wondered where water in the taps come from? Okay, that municipal corporation supplies the water through the tap at our home, but that water in the tap, where does that water come from in the tap? Have you ever wondered that water in the taps come from where? Water that we get from tap is also drawn from a lake or a river or a well. The water comes in the tap that is also drawn from river, dam, lake, wells, isn't it? It is then supplied through a network of pipes to our home. Each of us may be getting water into our homes in different ways. If each of us may be getting water into our home in different ways. But finally, all of us get water from the same sources such as ponds, lakes, rivers and wells. After all, the conclusion is that after all of us get the water from ponds, rivers, wells and lakes. We have discussed some of the source of water. Where does the water come from to fill these ponds, lakes, rivers and wells? See, now the another question. See, first question was that from where do you get water at your home? Then our answer was it was from river, ponds, lake, well, tap water. Okay. Now the another question. Okay, then in the river, from where water comes? In the ponds, in the lakes, in the wells. From there, in the river, the water comes from, isn't it? So the question is the same. Once again, the same question is there. From where the water comes? Okay. Now, can you see Bujo is there? Bujo wants you to imagine a day in your life when water supply through taps is not available. First of all, imagine that the water supply from tap is not available now. So you have to fetch the water yourself from a far away a place. Would you use the same amount of water as on any other day? Now, see, the tap water is not available at your home, then you have to fetch it from far away, and then let me tell you, by walking. Now, will you use the same amount of water you use in the normal days, or you will not use that much amount of water? Imagine that. And let me tell you, in the villages of Rajasthan and Kutch, ladies have to go, people says to go 5 kilometers far, they have to be by walking in the desert, and then they will fetch the water and once again come back. Then imagine that life. Okay, in the next page. Do you know that about 2/3 of Earth is covered with water? Now you know the Earth and everything, isn't it? The land on the Earth, that is also. Now imagine 2/3 of water of Earth is covered with water. 2/3 of Earth is covered with water. Now what is 2/3? Now divide 2 by 3, and that is, you know, complete is 100%. If it is 100%, then it is complete Earth. If it is 100%, then it is complete Earth. But 2/3 is equal to around approximately, I can say approximately 66%. So 66% of Earth is covered with water. The next is around 33-34% is only land on the Earth, but 66% of Earth is covered with water. Okay, let's go further. Most of this water is in ocean and seas. Okay, out of this 66%, we come to know most of this water is in oceans and seas. Okay, so what? The water in the oceans and seas has many salt dissolved in it. Okay, we come to know that most of the water is available in the oceans and sea. But the problem is what? The water in the oceans and sea has many salts dissolved in it. So what? The water is saline. The water is saline. Now you know that in the previous chapters we discussed that the salt we use, the salt, we can get from the sea, isn't it? That means the sea water is saline water. So it is not fit for drinking and other domestic, agricultural and industrial needs. See, have you ever tasted the water of sea? It is not fit for drinking. Okay, and we cannot use in domestic use also. We cannot use that water. We cannot wash our clothes like mommy used to wash at our home. We cannot wash our clothes with that water. Okay. Then same way, we cannot use that water in the agriculture also. We cannot give that water to plants. And industrial needs. In industry also we cannot use that water. You might have heard the famous line of the poem Rhyme of Ancient Mariner. Rhyme of Ancient Mariner. Famous poet wrote that poem, that Rhyme of ancient mariner written by S.T. Coleridge in 1798. The words are there: water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. A mariner means who is going in the marine, in the deep. Now everywhere there is water, but he is in the sea, he is in the ocean. So water everywhere. Around there is a lot of water, but nor any drop to drink. But he cannot drink. As if he is thirsty, he cannot drink that water. Here the poet has described the plight of sailor on a ship lost in the ocean. See, plight is difficult condition. The poet described the difficult condition of sailor on the ship lost in the ocean. The sailor is on the ship lost in the ocean. He do not have any water, sweet water to drink. Now water everywhere, but it is saline water in the sea. So it is a very difficult condition of the sailor. Okay, let's go further. Yet oceans play an important role in supplying water that we use. But it is not that we cannot use that water, then oceans are not required. In fact, oceans play an important role in supplying the water that we use. Do you find this surprising? You must be surprised that by listening that oceans play a very important role in supplying the water. Now with this we are ending this part, and now think how oceans are useful to supply the water we drink. Think about, and by this time we are ending this part. Next we will discuss in the next part. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Take care of yourselves and we'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.